calling for a minicab at short notice could be a bit of a lottery. You can never be sure how long it would take to get to you.
Listen, he may say he's at the end of the road, but trust me, I don't see him.
But these days, there are more high-tech options for getting a minicab, including one that's proving very popular.
It's called Uber, a mobile phone application that allows users to see which minicabs are nearby and then request one at just the touch of a button.
Once you've signed up and handed over your bank details, you're free to use it. Choose a standard, large or luxury vehicle, and the app then estimates the cost of the journey. You can then track the taxi on a map in real time as it makes its way to you.
Hello, how are you?
He looks familiar. Once your journey is over, you don't have to worry about paying because you've already given Uber your bank details. So it simply takes the money directly out of your account.
Sorry, no tip, I'm afraid. It can make your life a lot easier. That is until your online account is compromised.
You see, this technology opens you up to one of our most modern of crimes, online fraud, as Rhiann Kelly found out, although initially she was very excited by what the app could offer.
So Rhiann, what did you like about it?
The ability to be able to order a taxi from your phone and know exactly where it was on the map, how close it was to you, and know the person that should be driving it was just brilliant.
Well, not entirely. After using the service successfully once, Rhiann discovered she'd been charged a second time. £64 for what appeared to be a sightseeing trip across London in a luxury car. The problem was that Rhiann wasn't in the capital that day. She was at work 200 miles away in Wrexham.
What was your reaction to that?
I thought, oh my gosh, and I was really shocked. No, I've never taken a luxury taxi unless you count my wedding trip.
Rhiann had been the victim of hackers, criminals who'd got hold of the login details and used them to book an Uber cab. They took the trip while she got the bill. It's not clear whether hackers got into Uber's system or somehow got hold of Rhiann's details elsewhere.
They've never answered my question. How did they get in?
But what we do know is that she isn't the only victim of fraud. Rebecca Henry was charged £21.70 for this journey through North London, a day when she was actually 270 miles away in Cumbria. Cyan Dulai got charged £70.85 for this crazy journey, even though she was fast asleep in bed. And while Joanna Barwick was tucked up in bed in London, she was targeted by hackers in the United States. She got a bill for $229 for this trip across New York City. And look online and you'll find hundreds of others with similar stories.
So with lots of Uber customers complaining of being billed for journeys that they haven't taken, has the company set up a special helpline? No, there is no special helpline. In fact, you won't even find a telephone number that you can call to complain. So that's a waste of time. There is an email address, but that doesn't guarantee that Uber are going to help you.
As Louise Cook discovered when she was charged £38.22 for a trip across West London, a trip she hadn't taken.
So tell me, Louise, once you realised that you'd been a victim of fraud, you dropped Uber a little note, didn't you? What was their response to you?
The first response was that they couldn't help me because of their privacy policy and they couldn't recognise me as being the account holder.
So why was that? Well, to get into your account, you have to give your registered details, like your email address and contact number, but the fraudsters had replaced these, possibly in an attempt to stop Louise being alerted to the fraud.
Someone had changed my name, my email address, my mobile number, so therefore they couldn't actually recognise me as being the account holder and therefore couldn't take it any further.
Instead, Louise got several emails from Uber, like this one, which said, "I'm still unable to locate your account, sad face." The emoticon presumably designed to soften the blow.
Did the sad face make you feel a bit better?
Oh, no. In fact, that frustrated me more because it made me feel like they weren't taking my complaint seriously and they weren't trying to help.
And again, Louise isn't the only one who's had this experience. Online, you'll find others complaining not only that their Uber accounts have been hacked, but that they then struggle to convince the company that they are the owner of the account, which means it can be tricky to get your money back. Fed up with the delay, Louise, Rianne and Rebecca got refunds from their banks instead. Something they were entitled to do under fraud regulations. The banks then pursued Uber for the money.
Thanks, Kevin.
It's a pleasure, Louise. Nice to see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Uber might seem an appealing prospect because of its use of technology,
But clearly, with that comes some risks that you don't necessarily get when you use the traditional method of calling a cab and paying in cash.
so what is Uber going to do about it? Have its systems been breached? Does its online security need tightening up? And can it find a better way of dealing with customers whose accounts have been compromised? Because right now, it seems many of them are clearly being taken for a ride.
Okay, that was Kevin Woodford. Now, joining me, the head of Uber in the UK and the Nordics, Joe Bertram. Pretty expensive being a Uber customer, isn't it?
Yes, firstly, we'd really like to say sorry to those poor people in the video and anyone else impacted. It's obviously a really frustrating experience. We've been working hard to resolve those issues and make sure all customers are refunded for any trips that they didn't take.
How did you allow them to be hacked?
So Uber wasn't actually hacked. No one's gone into our system and stolen any data. What happens is many people, myself included, use the same login details and passwords across multiple different services. You've probably seen in the last 18 months, there's been some fairly high-profile hacks of systems, and then fraudsters take those login details and try them against the Uber system.
So it's not your fault.
No, absolutely. It's our
Really?
responsibility to stay one step ahead here.
And how come that you didn't really offer any help to people trying to get in touch with you? You don't have a customer service line. You don't have a system whereby if an email's changed, the original user of the account gets notified. And people waited up to 14 hours to get a response where they were worried their account was being used again and again.
Clearly, those response times are completely unacceptable, and we've been working hard to resolve that. We've now got a dedicated customer service team working round the clock who are experts in those. I think a couple of the issues were actually some of the first ones that arose, so maybe the person dealing with it didn't really know how to solve it.
Why has it taken you so long? Why are you on a learning curve at this stage? You operate in 57 countries.
We're always working to improve our security systems, and we've actually put in some measures since. So now, for example, if you log in on a different phone, you'll get prompted to enter your credit card details to make sure you actually have the physical card.
And will it be easier for, if I was a customer, to get in touch with you and get a reaction quicker?
Absolutely. We do find emails the most efficient. If you were to phone up, you'd probably have to wait while we wade through our systems and find your details.
So I've got to be on email.
You'd need to email us, but remember this is an app, so all of our customers are tech savvy, and for most of them it's the natural way to contact us. Of course,
So
if
you
they
don't
want
want
to
older
talk to someone,
customers who aren't technically savvy?
we absolutely do, but it's a smartphone service only. If you want to talk to someone, by all means, someone will call you right back once they've got your details.
Can you promise that this will not happen again?
No one can promise those things.
No.
What I can commit to is that we're working incredibly hard to make sure that security measures are in place. We've notified the authorities, both here in the UK and in the US, to make sure the fraudsters face
And will you be
consequences.
quicker in giving people their money back rather than resorting to have to go to their banks?
Absolutely. In every case, the users have been refunded. Anyone who thinks that this may have happened to them should email us on supportuk@uber.com, and someone will be in touch very, very quickly.
Joe Bertram, thank you. Still